Thank you for another beautiful and blessed day. We today, obviously, now Tuesday, as we see, and now so the month, the year they go so. We na July 23 today, Tuesday. Me when they talk to now, of course now they hear me now where they do this salute talk forum where they deal with issues coming and analysis. But are they now this wonderful station? So we na 91.9 FM. Then Voice of Salone na the radio part of this that they get at this. And I want to say by God in your power, every Tuesday I will come. My own time I make will be 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Then when I will in Sierra Leone, England, and all that, the your time will be 5 in the evening. Now, what me they can do now, and I can discuss politics, and I go down by way of history, comparative analysis. I go talk about other countries, but particularly the African countries, where the politics them and the history. Where would they deal with? First, let lay the groundwork for this in the context of asking a fundamental question: waiting will be lasting and true democracy in Africa. Waiting we will do for long get a lasting and true democracy where by God power the ups and downs and way the African countries they go to them. Because what we need for understand say power they come up from the people them by the people them and they exist with a legitimate consent that they first will start. We establish that understanding about power with that power. Now let I just give you now an example of that for give gravitas to the arguments say power they flow from the people. This November we for come by God power then supposed to hold the presidential election there. Now the parties them the two major parties them, the Republicans and the Democrats them, they don't already get the people them we go represent them. For example, then, even though there's a lot of legal questions that we hang on Mr. Trump, but I don't prevail as the presidential candidate for the Republicans. And this, of course, it happened at convention. And then the Democrats and the president Mr. Biden. Just then 2 days as for yesterday. Now suddenly we say you don't run it in. Waiting up. The debates when they behold. A performance that debates they. Now he make the big people them that the Democratic Party. They get that respect to roll the cities. If this man will represent Nigeria, the chance for losses election, he did it down and over the sphere. So they prevail on them. The big people they prevail on them. So finally now yesterday night sightseeing but of course this not complicated. The one they really follow American history. Because we recall President Lyndon Johnson also doing the height of that war. 1968 also back out of the race, Democrat. So the November, they elected Republican. So this not actually changed. But wait about this, like we already talk, the power it belongs to the people. Now the question will why not? Because our limits this to next week we'll talk about waiting. We'll talk about what will happen that July 29 and we eventually ready to that's one. So next Tuesday we'll come at that. But today now center of Salone. Salone, as you know, And as more of our now say, I also rewrite the Salone political history. Nicola, the new political Salone history. Because there are a lot of things that we're missing. So Nicola supply the missing links and I got power. Whether they come out with advertising, because people that have been actually for right, they share we can't talk. Now that platform they need for talk, so I don't listen to and I want to use this occasion everybody say because of what they do with people in Guinea, they don't make me a journalist. The next time I can send them to the studio, so the studio go, go flash the credentials. The way they make me food journalist. So this actually now but going back to this thing now though. Salone, we will not follow at least me fortunate enough for not see Salone politically. But when with man and between with man take a cascade to Mitsmagai, from Mitsmagai, he go out to Mitsmagai, and perhaps up to Tuesday, March 24th, 1967. So in other words, I don't actually witness, or I don't see, or I don't read development from colonial times in May 1960 go from negotiating independence. So I don't follow everything we go to that fact. We mean they run a parliamentary democracy. Waiting Uganda waiting so. We'll talk about a parliamentary democracy now. What you mean in other words, you talk about an infusionary government where you get the parliament, where composed of members, but within the membership, the party we get the largest seats in the parliament, now go form the government, meaning that we need for in fact establishment very quickly the elections in the parliamentary democracy. They're not they elect a prime minister, not to a prime minister they go elect. They're not they go elect a prime minister. Now members they elect members. Now within the spectrum of the membership when they elect, the one man where they emerge as a leader, that means they go party convention. When they go that party convention, meaning that all the interested people we want to be leader of the party, leader, not a prime minister. Well, of course, eventually that it will lead. But first, they go to that convention, say they go there as prime minister, they go for the prime minister. No, you go there for seek the leadership of the party. When you get the leadership of the party, now you they take the party, go per election. So when we win, then automatically you be the leader, then you become a prime minister. So we need to make this very clear. They go vote for a prime minister. The prime minister say get a constituency where they go. First, they go as an MP. They must elect her first an MP before. So this sort of government then will be the run. We need for raise this awareness to brothers and sisters and we know fortunate enough for know how governments they be run. Are the sort of government will be the one. They're not fortunate enough for know of that. So waiting we do now. We are job now for come explain this to them. So we run a parliamentary democracy, from the great man people in time to 1968. 1968 in between, then law come up with the date, and April 26, 1968, when APC under Shakastiris come back for the second time. Let us not forget, say Tuesday, March 21st, 1967, they be elected. They be appointed as prime minister as a result of that March 17, 1967 elections. We all be seen with the ups and downs about that election. They say it lead to a full-blown military takeover. We see a military takeover. Hello, sir. Hello. In office. Hello. Okay, we see a military take over. We see a military take over. The military take over last 1 year. After 1 year, they removed the military government. We did the NRC under Judicial Smith. Then they come up with a civilian government headed by Shaka Stevens. So from 1968, you see me they run a parliamentary democracy. But we also they almost a teach to us, totalitarian rule. We see that by 1971, they proclaimed republic. 1978, one party system come. So what you see, we don't now move from the democracy, the parliamentary democracy, we don't move from them. We dey pan this totalitarian rule. We dey pan so with all of this, what we don't see, problems after problems, we don't see take over them. We see how Joseph Saidu, well, we see even when Shaka we need power, we see when there were attempts for overthrow, especially like Brigadier John Amadou Bangura, the 1971 coup. We also see the further Eyon coup and all that thing. All this, we they bring the Nigerian for let people say, we actually, when it comes to running the government, the sort of government we need, we don't need a presidential system of governance. Because the presidential system of governance, what they do, if they install dictatorship now, if they install, if anybody not believe, look what happen in Uganda now. Then they say now, Mr. Museveni, he shut down the opposition just because they demonstrate against them. So you don't shut them down. But in a parliamentary democracy, you're not going to do that. You cannot. So the question we need for ask yourself, the presidential system of governance or the parliamentary system of governance, which one we go fit with? Having looked at things from all in various angles, me one actually submit the sort of government we go fit with. Now a parliamentary democracy. Here are the reasons why the parliamentary democracy. One is self-regulatory. It regulates itself. The parliament regulates itself. Two, the leader or a prime minister not they get that much power. You know they get that much power. If anybody not believe, now look at what it don't happen at Britain. Now go back to Margaret Thatcher, how it got removed. And people like Margaret Thatcher then, Tony Blair then, Gordon Brown, David Cameron, and even Boris Johnson, Theresa May, and even that other prime minister we become just about a month or two, she was out of office. And now we don't see even where Mr. Sunak, they don't put Mr. Sunak. This July 4 we come, he's been removed from office. But if not be a presidential system that we get at with it will be very difficult for remove then kind people in the power. Because one, then they in control of the electoral machinery, they're able to manipulate, the elections in such a way that they will remain in power. But in the parliamentary democracy, for you the leader or the prime minister, you then are the mercy of your party members and you cabinet. Because they get what they call vote of non-confidence. All in the need for either your cabinet revolt against you, you are out of power. Or one or two MPs they move a vote of non-confidence, they have a lobby, you are out of power. So a prime minister not get time for become a dictator now because your power it hang in the balance. But in a parliamentary in a presidential system, we'll get that side also. The leader they become a demigod. Now we see, let's give examples. Let's go back to let's just say the two governments in the government headed by Annette Baikoma and the government now headed by Judicial. Annette Baikoma all by himself, if fire a duly elected vice president without any constitutional prescription. He do that all by you. Let cascade and you see how BOS have the power, how they dispense with power. Instead, they exercise the same extraordinary and plenipotentiary powers. In other words, the powers of the presidency, it don't make anybody when a president, it make you a demigod. You only accountable to your whims, views, and caprices. The other branches of government, mostly the legislative branch of government and the judicial branch of government, they know they function, they know they function. These are some of the things that the great political thinkers in the 16th century. You get people like John Locke, there, people like Thomas Hobbes, people like Montesquieu. Now they kind of a power exercise where they see now that made them come up with what you call the Magna Carta, where tend for put limit on a leader in power. This happened between King John, here in advisors, when they call the Beirut, like place they call Runnymede, now England, and it didn't happen. So America, they may not adopt that. I mean, they get 3 branches of government, 3 branches. We in Africa in general, but particularly in Sierra Leone, we get this facade, because we can't call a facade, see, we get a parliament, we get not about the parliamentarians, they're answerable to a president. When not to say for being a president for be accountable to parliament in a proper democracy, in a democracy, a representative democracy, especially the one where mostly the parliamentary aspect of it. Like I just talked to us, so the prime minister not will last in office that long, but not even assume say we they go in for the presidential system of governance. Now that make, like I say, the political thinkers them, people like John Locke them, people like Edmund Burke them, and all of them, Thomas Hobbes them, they may now set up a frame of government. They call them a tripartite system of governance. That's where they began a Salone, that kind of a meeting where we did between APC and SNPP, they call tripartite, commission, whatever. No, for the wrong word than they. In that scheme of things, because when you talk about tripartite, you talk about 3 different aspects, 3 different components. But we'll look what happened now APC and the SNPP. So don't see any other party. Now they no more we get this kind of meeting among them. So the word here that tripartite, I mean the wrong word running. I mean now a misnomer and a malpurpose that they using the wrong word for convey, something else. What I mean. Not to be a tripartite at all, because there are 2 parties anymore. But added to the fact, you will ask the fundamental question, why then we get, if we necessarily forget a tripartite? Me answer, looking at things from my own experience in politics, so what I don't say, no. And then you go say, well, why you say no? Why I say no? It's very simple. In any democratic contest, any elections, you they get losers then, and get winners. No 2 parties no go win the same election at the same time. One party go lost, one party go. But then the fundamental question though, when a party lost, what if he aggrieved, if he thinks say, you're the opposition party, they say they cheat them out of victory. What do you do? Now make you get a 3rd branch of government. Waiting at the 3rd branch of government, that make you get the judicial branch of government. Now there you go with all the evidence you get. You can you evidence go there. But the question is, the opposition being go na court? No, they're not going to court. Now the excuse of the opposition they give why they don't go to court, they not trust the court. They don't go get fear hearing there, they don't get. But then what you go do back? This is where history very important again. How we get to this point where we court system. Now, one that way nobody don't get any trust in them. The antecedent for that we can go back, to APC. Now, APC actually compromised with judicial system. How? The answer is very simple. When we been run the parliamentary system of governance, we been really get a very robust and fearless and independent judiciary. Some of we again will tell God thank you. We see the judiciary where white people that we sit down now with court system. For example, I still recall Justice Arthur Dobbs, who that be Whitman, we need it. Now, Sierra Leone judiciary, it was such that before the advent of APC then when they come to power, as a matter of fact, when APC be there in opposition, they should say even benefit from the independence and fearlessness of the judiciary. How the one-party system where Albert Magai the one can go to parliament, the Republican bill where the one can go to parliament, the APC opposition, they're not only opposing them, but they go to court. But because you began a court, we're very independent, we're very fearless, and we're obviously enough, where they stick to the canons of that profession, which they do, they rule in favor of APC, so that will stop Albert Magai from taking one party system or republic salon. Now, the judicial system was such that we caught them, they were so professionalized, they were so much, when you say they embrace the judicial philosophies for which that noble profession stand for, to the extent people then will even be going to a place where they call the judicial committee of the Privy Council down in England. More assume say a case, you get a case in a salon, you're not satisfied with the outcome of her, you can appeal your case that the judicial committee now before the Lord said. In fact, we get a Sierra where we do that, Mr. John Akada, is citizenship. He take that in case they can't go to England and they rule for them. The court then have written. We court system were such that we all judge them in a salon where they go sit up, especially in Gambia. Now we all judge them in a salon that them in the sit up and cases in a Gambia. The judicial system was such that, and then we respect the judicial in such a way that we judge them. For example, one of we judge them, Sasame Bankole Jones, in a member of that panel, they were set for investigating air crash where claimed the life of the Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Dag Hammarskjöld. Now, one of the judges. We also, we electoral reform, for reform with elections, because one of the jurists then, in a member of that panel, when they call the Kit Lucas, who ran the person named Banja Tijansi, where ended up being Governor General Nassau, in a member of that panel, where they set up that Royal Commission, that's Kit Lucas, for reform with elections, business. So this was the sort of independence who the judiciary being get. But all of this change, how it changed, Georgia became a political party member. Georgia begin the go to political conventions. We see where when the Shakasim is out of the country, it can a joy go. One of the judges that will be noticed where they can go, Roland Harding, Justice Roland Harding. Waiting a judge, they go, a political gathering. Why they file like a president for go down, court. With judiciary, it reach a point now that when they do cases, they watch over their shoulder. For example, when the case of Mohammed Sorifona and others come up, the presiding judge for that case, Justice Marcus Cole, they always get a visit from the vice president, S.I. Koguma, was all the time visiting him doing, the case. So everybody go read between the line what was the visit intended for and what was the outcome. And we all saw the outcome of the Mohammed Sorifona and 14 other case. So the question is, what we need for ask yourself, how then we go move from this point here? How Sierra Leone will move from this point also this so? This kind of system also where the totalitarian madness on the part of leaders. This is what they talk, not to only Julius Mother view. This we don't incubate them from the time when Shakastin is come. I mean, I do a comparative analysis. The government will be the government before we get a republic or before APC came to power in 1968, and the government will get from the time where APC came to power in 1968 up to now we're at the talk, or up to now we're at the talk. we don't get no good governance at Salone. Now only one person, only one branch of government and the Ukraine presidency. The same power where Julius Maada Bio exercise now, this extraordinary and plenipotentiary powers and we in the exercise now. If it come up on power, the next person where they come at the same thing. So the question is, waiting at the solution, how we can get ourselves out of this quagmire. There is a man, let God get eternal rest, or let God get Arizona for nothing, and they call it Justice Edmund Cowan. If we don't fashion a constitution where waiting he do, the constitution where he fashion where favor Salone. He don't fashion a constitution where favor a political party or a leader. He fashion a constitution where favor Salone, and constitution of a favor in Salone means every citizen at the country, the constitutional rights, them, the civil liberties are encoded in that constitution, meaning that you get everything when it comes with human freedoms. It did it. John equity people and they enjoy Naya. You get the right to free speech. You get the right for whole elections. Then you get the right for elect people that wait for govern you. When you decide for not to do that they want, you get the right for petition. I mean everything. But what did happen? The report was handed over to Ernest Baikoma, but because you don't see anything they we go elongate and stay in power, we go make it remain in power. So he left him up na the Chevy they get at dust. Julius Maada Bio instead of come on power. He don't look this 1991 constitution where I'm like country where na be attorney general where can go na parliament, where he make a leader a demigod. He don't look him. Then he don't look the Justice Cowan constitution. Now like night and day, the Justice Cowan constitution not allow any leader for be a demigod in the country. They hold the president accountable. So instead of don't look him now, then he compare him to he don't look the Justice Cowan constitution. He don't look the constitution where did it when I bring up. How that man go give up that constitution? We don't get this baby big power. We don't make a demigod for a document where make him equal to everybody, where citizens go hold him accountable. For example, the mankind to power is set commissions of inquiry. He bring allege them. They spend inordinate amount of money or excessive amount of money. They come up with recommendations and findings. What will happen? Julius Maada Bio make a personal property. He make a personal property. These are reports and when on behalf of the citizens. Those reports and recommendations should have been implemented to the fullest. But these are the things where the trouble, now the disadvantage is where the country is suffer, where this so constitution, where it make one man, where in the country, where it trouble Salone, and then by Koroman was the country, he alone, nine in the country. Now Julius Maada Bio nine in the country now. There is nothing like Salone in. The advancement of the country therefore revolve around your whims, views, and caprices that waiting you want. Now, for example, look at the way the Auditor General, the way how they dispense with the case. He alone just they don't fire the auditor, they don't fire the Auditor General. And in a situation like that, these are institutions then where for be very independent of a government. These are institutions then. And just like that, we get what they call the Fed, meaning at the central bank there. No president know they fire the Central Bank of the United States, the head of it. No president know they fire him. He got to take an act of Congress, whether an impeachment. But because we don't get so the parliamentarians that will get, they are not parliamentarians. Then they say now I talk about how we go remedy this situation. So there are two ways we'll take for remedy this situation. So one, we now need for hold with parliamentarians accountable. Yesterday, now I talk about now in fact, when they follow me now WhatsApp group, they read that. It is a plain one. We need to get a kind of in the system of governance where where before you get into office, the citizens again for be part of that process. For example, now yeah, you get what you call primaries, especially for a presidential, elections. They know they hold the election without they not hold the primaries. What's the benefit of the primaries? The primaries, the citizens are part of it. They get X amount of candidate, anybody they come out. Say you want to be president, anybody. But what's they happen? Now all they go, now the whole country, now they go from one state to the other, all the candidates, now the different parties, the mostly the Republicans, the Democrats, now they go there first. Then the citizens be part of the process. How are they part of the process? Then they vote. Then they hold it and they vote. When a vote, who that win, now in they go make a presidential candidate. Then they go make a candidate. Who that win, when they go for the elections. Not so like what happen at McKinney when a one man no more will decide. Who that forbid it that no, they work that way. It doesn't work that way. Now, who that the citizens decide on. So when they go to the convention, it's very easy. They go just count the person. When I get something like that, then hala no they did it, rank or no they did it, recrimination on it. But any election where not to the citizens, they don't get a say now, not to an election that day. Not to an election that day. Anyhow, they look at not to election that day. So we don't take about 60 something years now, 60 plus years, where we don't be independent nation. But today, we not able, frame a political process where go help, the task of nation building go before. Because the thing is, without, a political order, without proper democracy, where they come by way of, free and fair elections, getting people there in power, where now they're supposed for day. If we not get that, you guys are wasting time. You are actually wasting time. You guys will not go nowhere. You don't go nowhere. So what do we need for clamor for? We need for clamor for the fact that we need a truly representative democracy. Now we need a truly representative democracy. And waiting at the entail the fact that the power they come up from we. I mean, they say the power they flow from the people, by the people, and existing with the legitimate consent of the people there. So, like, I talk now about this American, Mr. Biden is out of it now. So there is considerable chance, except otherwise, except something happen now, but we don't say the vice president where we don't deal with Mr. Biden for this 4 years now. There is chance that they will succeed. There is chance that make before an election you bring somebody where you talk say now you run in mate. Now una they run on one ticket. The same votes when they cast for the president, are the same votes that they cast for the vice president. So in other words, the president and the vice president that they elect. The office of vice president not to a gift. Where you say, oh, that a president, that they give a vice president. No. Not to any give vice president. Now the citizens there. So now that means that this country they take the office of vice president very, very serious. Because anything can happen to the president. So they expect the vice president for jump in a quick line, not happen soon. So except otherwise. But now there will be great possibility to say now Harris, where then the vice president to Mr. Biden. Now he now will get for lead the Democratic Party to the November elections where they come. These are the advantages that make, like we say, before the election, you candidates, you bring somebody where for before you decide, say now you want for let it join you, una they get the mindset, una they look at things, una they see if any side they will not go able to accommodate each other. You know the job win somebody just because you want, and win votes. More say you go now, you go take more say like you go take one full man for so that you get the full of votes, but deep down you don't believe in them. Deep down you don't want them. Not just the votes and no more you want. No, that is totally wrong. That is very dishonest, and also that they enough fear to the citizen. So now that make before you invite anybody for join you ticket, you for make sure say the person where you win, that person where you trust, who now through the work as a team, and who now go get along. At all time economic, na say the vice president in a one seat, a heartbeat away from the presidency. So since Mr. Biden not run again, Harris, by God power, and then will get for lead the Democrats into the November election. So, like you say, this program we don't come with today. By God power, they can't begin for sponsoring. We with the sponsor, we are going to deal with political history actually, and like you say, not only for Salone. I would look at the other components and like we say, we invite you for always every Tuesday by God power, una for tune in at 91.9 FM. 91.9 FM every Tuesday. Meal time now will be 1 o'clock United States time now. Una time will be 5 o'clock in the evening. They will all can be this platform here. So, and like I say, I will try as much as I can for get somebody we go and finance this or sponsor this. Because it's very important. We will come again for beginning also offer, lectures in Salone in political history. We will try for to do that also because it's very important. It's very important because, like the great philosopher Edmund Burke, he said the one day we know remember yesterday, they will repeat the same mistake today. Like people that wait all the time, they call for violence. They talk for political violence. No, you don't need political violence for acting office. You they get office through the validity of the sanctity of the ballot box in a democratic competition, in a democratic exercise, where call for one man, one vote. Where are the citizens? The reservoir of power that the citizens. Not to the one that we sit on that the government, offices them or the state house them or the palaces them, not to them. The real power, the one that we get power, are the citizens. Now that make the citizens enough for fear a government because the government, they work on their behalf. The government, they're not your masters. They are servants of the citizens. The governments are servants of the citizens. So we need to make this very clear. The citizens, through their representatives, they hold the government accountable. And without their representatives, Parliament. But unfortunately, we get a kind of political dispensation in the country where the Parliament is missing in action because there are a lot of things where the Parliament for not take, this government to task for. There are a lot of things where this the Parliament where know what it is pan, where live up to where they up to the constitutional responsibilities. Where for don't take this government, for example, we expect say the Minister of Finance from time to time, Parliament will call them for let it go up to them. Go look at the the travel budget expenses where President Bio don't incur how much that the money where you don't spend for travel. And at the parliament, your job that day for make sure that they put a cap on how much money the president supposed to spend. Now they your job that day under the constitution. Unfortunately, you get one of the unsavory miscants and then psychophants in politics. One should be Jacob Yusuf Safa, where one day in off God he talks say you just rather you for spend any kind of money enough for be accountable to anybody. I mean, it was so appalling for let you hear somebody they made that kind of a recommendation. The money not to you just rather be personal money, not to SLPP their money, not to APC their money. The money belongs to the citizens, so there has to be accountability. But they would get oversight authority over any administration at the parliament. But it appears with parliamentarians, they don't know. So some of we go use them platform they ask you. This program them where I get for the do that, or they use that now for also offer lectures to parliament as to waiting at their own responsibilities. And the citizens also they say for make sure say they hold the parliamentarians accountable. One way for hold them accountable, the parliamentarians say where not they do their work, where the citizens they know they see them at the constituency they know they address it in their vote. Then they recall them, meaning that recall me there has to be a petition. I mean, we forget a constitution where we give the citizens that kind of power for let them recall parliamentarians where don't fail in a constitutional responsibility. I mean, waiting they supposed for do they know they do them. Let the citizens pull them commodity because they don't go daily. Then they get all kind of benefits, all kind of salary, all kind of allowances where they're supposed to work on behalf of the citizens, but they are missing in action. No. And also where there are no unintended consequences. There has to be unintended consequences for people they're not performing their duties. The citizens therefore be able to exercise that kind of a rights in that power. They wait for we call parliamentarians way no they do the work. And again, one other thing we will stress there, we also get for stress the fact say the elections whether now for be an MPO or for be a president of the country, the citizens need for also make sure say they hear from the candidates where they run for their offices. How would they hear from them? Through debates. We expect with university students for also be part of this political process. When they organize debates for we parliamentarians, we expect them for be part of that narrative where they be part of by holding them accountable to debates because when they hold debates the debates that they give citizens or the voters a clue as to who that kind of people whether such people where they try for run for office, whether they qualify for DUAM, whether they meet the threshold. You see, but this will only happen where we get them involved. So today that the main part of this podcast here, so I will want just tell the people they say this is an introductory part of our because this salon political show or discussion we that kutubu komadi do waiting I want to I always want to between 30 minutes to 45 minutes, but not more than an hour. So meaning that before I come there, I for don't prepare waiting I get for you. So when I come there, straight up, I jump on that. So the program not for last more than an hour. It will be done within 30 minutes to 45 minutes in an hour. but it not for exceed an hour. So everything we I get for discuss, I for don't lump them together. Now I make we not agree long topics them. If there are one or two topics them, we'll pick, but we prosecute them to the fullest. We go resonate, with the people them. So I want to tell the management of this network here, plenty thank you for the honor and privilege where they give me for calmly and present a program to them. I want to tell them thank you for this. And I want to give them the assurance that I will do everything possible for make sure say I live up to the trust and confidence when they repose on me. And one of the audience and the expectant for law outcome support. And as a matter of fact, when the program comes down, also they share to friends and family members and they follow. And I also want let una go the comment, let let the comment on that. So until I come back next Tuesday, I want to know thank you. This is Kutubu Koma. Then they sign off on the program. Until then, you guys should get a very blessed and pleasant day.